Hello, everyone. I'm Joel Baird, the General Manager of Missoula Community Access Television.
And I'm Kim Anderson. I'm on the board of MCAT, and I'm the Director of Programs and Grants for Humanities Montana.
We'd like to invite you to this incredibly snowy edition of Missoula Live.
How long has it been winter? How long?
We can only see white, right? White and spinning black tires.
Yeah.
So I want to thank the guests today, especially.
Everyone showed up.
We can't believe it.
I know.
Even people we didn't expect showed up.
Right.
That's how important this episode is. And
They're just trying to get in out of the cold. That's all.
They're all like putting hot water on their big toes, getting warmed up in our pen. I only have a little to talk to you about, dear viewer, and the primary thing, of course, is MCAT Spring Flicks, suitable for kids age 9 to 13. It's going to be conducted during the spring break that MCPS is offering kids. It's March 25th through the 29th. We've got some pre-care going. We learned that word, pre-care. That means you have to go somewhere, you can drop the kids off.
Right.
And our activities will start, but look, if you need to drop them at 8:30 in the morning that week,
Wow.
we'll be ready for you. The
Wow.
popcorn
Who
and
will be
video
ready
games.
for that?
Well, Scott and
Scott.
Neil and the other noble counselors.
Oh my
of
goodness,
MCAT's
that's
media
impressive.
camp. There's more information about it online at mcat.org, and you can register your child there. It's $150 for the week. That's 8-ish to 3:30-ish, whatever you need. And there's scholarships available. So if you want to talk scholarship, give us a call at MCAT. It's 542-6228. And then the final thing I'll say is our Saturday animation drop-in.
Oh, right.
It still goes on. It's a $10 fee. It starts at 1 p.m. every Saturday until Memorial Day weekend. It goes till 5. So it's 4 hours. If you're worried about your kid learning teamwork, computer skills, storytelling,
Industry of the future.
industry of the future stuff. Why worry? Just drop them off here.
Right, do
every
your
Saturday.
errands. You're good.
Yeah, so that's all I've got. And you said you had something for humanities.
Well, I just wanted to remind people that this year, Humanities Montana has been going through kind of an analyzing process and strategizing process. And so we put on hold our regular grants and our media grants, for instance, but we are still offering opportunity grants. So if you have a public humanities project that could use some funding, we have grants that are up to $1,000. There's our website.
Oh, nice.
I would strongly recommend that you call me, Kim Anderson, at 243-6022, Humanities Montana, or send me an email. You can reach me through the website, and we'll talk about your project and see if it's an option for funding. And the opportunity grants are very streamlined. We try to make them as user-friendly as possible. There are no complicated budget forms or anything like that. So if you think we might be able to help, give us a call.
And just to enlarge on the definition of humanities, I know sometimes when people watch the show, they're like, humanities, that sounds very fancy. But you guys support people that may be giving a presentation on history, on politics, on jurisprudence, which sounds fancy.
Yes.
Too,
You know, we used to define the humanities, and the National Endowment for the Humanities defines the humanities through a list of disciplines like that.
Yeah.
History, literature, jurisprudence, philosophy. But more and more what we are talking about is the experience of being human and the study of it through using those sorts of contextual tools. So, you know, except for the hard sciences, which there are other organizations that fund that, if it's about what it is to be human, it's probably up our alley.
So that's really nice. So if there's a civic group that's watching and they think, oh, gee, it would be so nice to have this guest speaker, or wouldn't it be wonderful if we could rent a hall, have a sound system, and maybe a little reception, it's the kind of thing that Humanities Montana would fund. Potentially.
Could be.
And that's why you say call 243-6022.
So that we don't waste each other's time.
Right.
And
Like,
we don't
what
want
if
you to
it's
go
just
through
like,
the process.
no, you filled this out and it's just barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah.
Got it. So it's time to move on to our first and very noble guest. Mark Moss has been presenting Missoula audiences with a wonderful formatted program he calls Tell Us Something. Welcome, Mark. Thanks for being on the show.
Talk about the human experience.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
see, you got it.
Storytelling is a huge
and what
part
it means
of it.
to be human.
That's right.
So, and that's what happens at Tell Us Something events.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah. So, for people who don't know, Tell Us Something has been around for 9 years.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That is wild.
You were at the first one.
I was indeed.
It was at the Missoula Art Museum.
Uh-huh.
And so we've grown quite a bit. And what
Yeah,
it is, 8 people have 10 minutes to tell a true personal story from memory on a theme. And the themes are usually pretty broad,
Right.
so that they can be interpreted in a lot of different ways, and we get a lot of diverse stories. And the people who are telling the stories are teachers and artists and contractors and professors and immigrants and all
Students.
students and
It's your
Firefighters.
Rangers.
I saw one.
Yeah.
There was a wild
firefighter. You were there.
firefighter story.
Yeah.
yeah, incredible stuff. And it's the community. It is the people who live and work with us here in Missoula. And I don't announce ahead of time who the storytellers are going to be, because I don't want people to say, oh, Kim Anderson's going to be there? I'm totally going. I'm totally going to that. She's amazing. Mark Moss is going to be there. That guy's a jerk. I'm not going to that show.
Oh, okay.
No.
So you're not playing a game of town personalities.
No,
Right.
people are coming to listen to their community share stories.
And I mean, one of the really fun things is when you go to one and someone you find out in the moment has a story to tell, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's got the nerve to go up there and do that.
Everybody has a story to tell.
Yeah,
is the thing.
exactly.
And when I first started doing this program, I would sort of trick people into telling stories. I had to do a lot of recruiting. And now, so the 8 storytellers, as I said, we have currently, today is the pitch deadline, we have 26 pitches
Wow.
Wow,
And
for
I-
the 8 slots.
for the 8 slots. And I call every single person as soon as the pitch arrives and say, hey, I got your pitch. You know, the deadline's the 25th. I'm going to call everybody back after that to let you know if you've been selected or not. And if people haven't been selected, then they can ask me why. And, you know, I think hiding behind an email is sort of chicken.
Good for you.
Right, because
Yeah.
people, do they call? My understanding of how it worked, and you can correct me, people would call and leave a message
Yep.
that was the pitch, like, hey, my name is so-and-so, and I've got a story about this. So anyway, let me know.
Right, so they call the pitch line and they have 3 minutes to leave a voicemail
Yeah.
that tells me the beginning, middle, and end of the story. And I have an advisory board. Tell Us Something has an advisory board. And so that pitch becomes an MP3 file. It gets tossed into Dropbox.
Yeah.
Everybody can access it. They all listen to it. We have a spreadsheet that says Joel's in, Kim is in, Mark is not in.
I like how you're always the victim of these
Right, I
short
know, I
little
know.
stories. I like
Well,
that.
it's true. I pitched a story once and wasn't selected.
Are you kidding?
No, I am
To
not
your
kidding.
own deal,
To
the
my
thing you
own-
started.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know about it. I think Tell Us Something is really wonderful. I had read, for instance, years ago, a book on music, and it was a history of music, and the authors observed that in the olden days, I don't know how old this was, everybody played the music.
Right.
You know, that the notion if our ancestors were to come and see, like, that's the piano player, and there's like 1,000 people watching one person make music, or tens of thousands in a stadium, they'd be scratching their heads like, how come everyone isn't making this music? So in turn, Tell Us Something seems to reflect on the ordinary individual and say, wow, they've got something to say. And since you have so many, and you're taking on 8 people each time, I'm not saying you're working your way through the whole town.
He's got a ways to go.
But I think it's
town is
wonderful.
growing.
Yeah, right.
It's a wonderful experience, and I say that for people who may be watching, you know, who may know a friend, a relative, or something, and say, "Oh, Uncle Ernie's stories," you know, that they will tell Uncle Ernie about
Oh yeah,
this, right?
Yeah.
Uncle Ernie. I want you
Yeah.
to call Uncle Ernie.
Because there's always a theme, like "Stranger in a Strange Land" is the
next one.
current.
Yep. And that's March
That's a
18th.
great.
Yeah, and you know when that theme was selected, so the
Yeah.
themes are selected, people give me, you know, you should do this as a theme, and I write it down and I think about it, when it comes time to start thinking about theme selection, and I toss about 20 out into the public, and they vote on it.
I voted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when Stranger in a Strange Land was selected, I didn't know that it was a classic science fiction
Rubber
novel.
Yeah, Robert
Heinlein
Heinlein, yeah.
So I went and I read the book, and wow, mind blown.
Yeah,
It was
right.
So
Yeah, it's pretty
great.
amazing.
So great. So anyway,
But again, it's a title that you can approach from a lot of different ways.
So many different directions.
Yeah. And now the event has grown dramatically since 9 years ago in the art museum up in the
75
top.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
Now tell us where you are now and what the
Yeah, and
audiences
this
are
upcoming
like.
show.
75 people opened us up right at the art museum. Then we moved to the Top Hat and blew the doors off the Top Hat. And-
You were sold out
Yeah,
every
people couldn't
night.
get in
Well,
if they didn't come.
think about this. It wasn't a sellout because we weren't charging.
That's right.
For the first several years, it was free. It was a free event. People were arriving at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to get a seat
Yeah.
for a 6 o'clock show. And so then after Nick Chakota bought the Wilma and remodeled it, he encouraged me to move the event to the Wilma. And I was very nervous that the intimacy would be lost.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. 800 people, 825 people is how many that room can
Yeah.
hold for seated shows. And 825 people are sitting in our living room
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah, it's partly
to
the
stories.
genius of the remodel of the Wilma.
Well, there's
but-
that. But I was in
and
the
the people who
balcony at
built
the
it.
last one, and it was
Yeah, I
incredibly
was. I
intimate.
think I was with
we
you.
were together. That's,
That's
right. Yeah, it was. We were just wrapped. You know.
And it was quiet.
Yeah,
People
very
were listening.
quiet.
Oh, yeah. It's just a
It's-
really wonderful thing that you've grown from a little baby.
Well, I am not the only one who's grown it.
Yeah.
There's a team of volunteers and the advisory board, and without the support of my wife, Joyce Gibbs,
Joyce is
she's
great.
fantastic, and I just feel so much gratitude to the community who has embraced the idea.
Now you've also had some forays into other communities. Isn't
Absolutely.
that correct?
Yep. So for the past 2 years, we've done it at Free Ceramics in Helena, Montana. And I think that venue holds about 150 people. So we booked a show this year at the Myrna Loy in May, so I'm really
Great.
excited for that. And this past year was the first year that we went to Butte, America.
There's a ton of stories in
yeah, how
Butte.
many stories in those hills.
Fantastic storytelling there.
Yeah.
I still haven't had a chance to crank that podcast out for that one, but I'm working on that.
Right.
And I was in November and it's still not done.
Oh, okay. We'll forgive you.
Thanks.
And you've been such a wonderful partner with MCAT. We've had the privilege of recording
Yeah.
I'm so
a
grateful.
number of Tell Us Somethings that
Almost
are
all
on our
of them.
website.
Wow.
People could watch.
Yep, they're on your website.
You know
They're-
how many? Or are you going to say? I can't
I don't remember
recall.
how many are recorded on video, but there are quite
Yeah.
a few. And we have a YouTube channel, and so we split those stories out and into Act 1 and Act 2 on the YouTube channel, and they're embedded on the website.
And like you said, there are podcasts.
Yeah, there's
Right.
a podcast. So for the past 9 years, you can go back and listen to every story that's ever been told on the Tell Something stage of the storytellers that said they wanted that.
Yeah.
Because there are some that say declined on the release form.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
One storyteller told a story about strapping 6 kilos of heroin to her body in the 70s.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God.
And,
She decided.
and traveling to New York City, and the buyer was a famous folk singer, Robert Zimmerman.
Oh
somebody-
my God.
And she says, if anybody asks me about this, I will tell him.
Never
I will
happened.
call him a liar.
Yeah.
And she said I could never release that until both individuals have died.
Has that happened? No.
No, no, Joel.
Right.
No, so
It would
notice
be
I
news.
didn't say the name of the storyteller.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but
For you.
the stories are fantastic that
Yeah.
get told up there, and just a real diverse
Oh,
group
it's
of people.
just a wonderful thing.
And the thing I always forget to tell people when I'm talking about this is that we have American Sign Language interpreters
Yes.
at every event, and Denise May and Bonnie Curian, they're fantastic. They tag team in between each storyteller. They switch off so they can rest, because that's a lot of
Yeah.
work.
Oh, sure.
And they come to the workshop. We have a workshop for all of the storytellers to set them up for success. But Bonnie and Denise are fantastic. They do ASL interpretation at every event in Missoula, and we have a small contingent of deaf people who come and listen. And we actually had a deaf storyteller
Yes.
at the event in December.
That was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I know we better move on, but
So the
give a plug,
particulars,
for
yeah.
the one coming up.
the one coming up is March 18th at the Wilma. Tickets are available at the Top Hat Lounge box office, at logjampresents.com, and at Rockin' Rudy's. And you can also go to tellus something.org/events to learn more about the next show. It's March 18th at the Wilma at 7 p.m.
Wonderful.
General seating, general
admission seating. Yep.
Get there early is my
Get your
advice.
tickets early.
tickets
is my
early.
advice.
Yeah.
You know, last time, well, we sold out every show last year.
Right.
And the June and December shows were the first to sell out in advance. And I had friends texting me and calling me like, do you have extra tickets? No, I don't. I don't. I can't sell tickets. I'm not set up to do that. So if you want your tickets, you should get them
Do it now.
at Rockin' Rudy's, Top Hat Lounge box office, or logjampresents.com.
Great.
All right, we're looking forward to it.
Yes, Mark, thank you for
you so
taking the time to
much.
be on the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, we'll be right back. We've got all these hearty guests. Did I forget who's next? I did. So you'll find out when we come back right after this.
Surprise.
Whoa! Hello! I'm MCAT, and so can you. This spring break between March 25th through the 29th, your kid can join us for Spring Flicks. It's a week-long camp that provides kids 9 to 13 years old with activities and more at your local television station. Go to MCAT.org or the link above to sign up for fun camps.
Welcome to another edition of the Montana Department of Transportation's How to Drive a Roundabout. We all know what to do at a traffic signal. Red means stop. Green means go. But when we come to a roundabout, we're often unfamiliar with what to do next. Oh no! Whoa, cowboy, wrong way. Here are the tips on how to properly drive on a roundabout. First, slow down when approaching a roundabout. Second, yield to traffic in the roundabout. Vehicles in the roundabout have the right of way. Now you're getting it. Third, do not stop within the circular portion of the roundabout. That's no place to stop. Fourth, signal your turn and exit the roundabout at the appropriate point. Following these instructions, you'll have no problem navigating the new roundabouts popping up all around Montana.
The roundabout at
Do
this.
what?
Oh.
We were just talking that we've overeducated you, dear viewer.
We
on the
believe
roundabout.
everyone understands the roundabout now.
We wish, but I mean, we've just shown the PSA too much. So Megan Pfaff is here to talk about the Missoula Women's Fair. Welcome, and thanks for putting it on again.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're excited.
This time of year, we're ready for a fair of some kind.
Anything.
And it's not supposed to get any nicer
Right.
by then.
Between now and then.
No.
And this is early March. You are
Early
then.
March, yeah. So in two weeks or so, March 9th.
Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, I've been watching the forecast, and it's gonna be cold and
All
snowing
right.
still.
Now, it's at the UC Ballroom again?
Yes.
Okay.
Third floor of the UC,
Right.
UC Ballroom, and it's a free event to the public. And we have so many new exciting things. We have free childcare this time around.
Whoa,
Wow,
that's
you really-
great.
So moms can drop off their kiddo for an hour and go check out the fair before picking their kid back up.
Yeah, Scott's showing people at home the
Yeah.
website that details, because often, right, you have so many vendors,
Yes.
exhibitors that it's hard for people to
Right.
take it in. But
Right.
if they go to MissoulaWomen'sFair.com,
Yep.
they can more calmly go through
Right,
all
so you
of
can
the
see we have
attractions.
70 plus exhibitors at the event. We have a variety of retail, shopping, medical, real estate. I mean, everything you can think of, we will have there pretty much. So,
Is there a way to describe the philosophy behind the fair? That it's what your aim is?
well, we believe my mother and I own Marketplace Media and Events, and we believe that in a community like Missoula, it's important to give back And so all of our events have a nonprofit aspect to them. We want to educate women with whatever their needs are in life, while still having entertainment and fun and giving back to the community. So we have entertainment on the main stage all day long.
That's so great.
We have 3, we're calling them do-it-herself workshops at the event this year. And then we have our 2 spotlighted nonprofits to give back to the community a little bit.
Who are they this year? And we got to do it. MCAT's going to do it next year.
Yes, I
We're
know. We said that
nominated.
last year, right?
I guess I forgot.
We forgot.
So this year, our nonprofit, and I brought my little cheat
Cheat
sheet
sheet.
because I
Okay.
never
That's
want to say their names wrong.
acceptable.
Well, it's MCT, so that one's easy. We
Yeah.
all know. And I learned something, I didn't know this. So they bring arts to all 50 states.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they were just here. But not
No.
only that, 5 Canadian province and 16 countries.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go all over the world.
All over.
Japan, China.
That's so cool.
It's
I
pretty
know.
amazing.
So I
what
get
they've
to learn
built
about
up.
nonprofits that
Yeah.
I didn't
Sure.
know the little bit of information. So MCT is one of them, and then the Austin Martell Memorial, and they are a nonprofit that not a lot of people have heard about.
Yeah.
So you have to vote. You have to be voted on to win to be a spotlighted nonprofit. They blew everyone out of
Wow.
the water.
Isn't that something?
Oh my gosh!
Can you,
So
do you
amazing.
know what it is they do?
So they are a 2-day event raising funds for suicide awareness and prevention.
Oh, good. Very
It's
worthy.
it's like Clinton area, I think. Ooh, see, I didn't write it down.
But
so I
their
could be wrong.
supporters are obviously
Right. Yes.
hugely
It's
enthusiastic.
a family. Their son committed suicide, and they were encouraged by his friends to start this nonprofit. And so they really want to help bring awareness to suicide prevention and
That's
have fun
great.
doing it. So it seems
That's
like a
so
really
cool.
cool thing. It involves mud and trucks, and
Oh my goodness.
you can go to our website or come to the
Okay.
event to learn more about
All
them.
right.
But yeah, it's really
Now,
exciting.
you mentioned that there was going to be entertainment going on all day. What kind of
Yeah.
entertainment?
So we have cheer, dance,
Oh, cool.
just a variety. We're working with a choir, a women's choir, to come
Mm-hmm.
perform. So we always don't have that finalized until we get like right to the end.
Mm-hmm.
But you can check the website for the list of entertainments, the list of vendors. The website is full, and our Facebook page. So we have a Facebook page and a Facebook event that keeps you updated on it.
And the event is Saturday, March 10th. So
March 9th.
9th. It's a week from this Saturday.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, and it's a free event. It's 11 to 4, and then we have a raffle as well. So we want people to come with some money, know that it's a shopping experience, but also we have really amazing baskets that have been made by all the exhibitors that are there have donated, plus some other local businesses, and we raise money for those 2 nonprofits through our raffle.
That's
Excellent.
great.
Yeah.
And so there, these 70 exhibitors they have merchandise, they have services that they're
Right.
offering.
Yes,
They're-
so all variety of it. A lot of them have their own giveaways or freebies, and but you can learn. It's a really great time to go and talk to businesses that maybe you've been curious about, but you don't know how to ask about the information.
Or you never get there.
Or you
There's
never
things
get
on my
there.
list I just never get there.
Right.
Or you don't
Right.
even know exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
I think it's really cool. One of the vendors that we had last year and we have again this year is an Adventure Montana program that's really targeting women and how they can be out in the wilderness and nature and be more adventurous. And I had no
That is
idea
cool. I
that
didn't
this
either.
existed until they became a part of the event. So.
Yeah.
It's really exciting. We have, I made my little list. So retail, chiropractic, health, fitness, adventure, aging, pediatrics, beauty, real estate. I mean, anything from infants to elderly, you're going to come
Right.
and learn. And then shopping and fun, beauty, health. We love
Yeah,
that stuff,
plus
right?
the nonprofit
Yes.
support
Right.
Right.
with the
Right.
raffle and so on.
And we recommend coming and staying the whole day because
Yeah,
with
this-
the entertainment and everything going on and the workshops, you do have to register early for those workshops, which is on our website. But there's you can make a signboard, you can paint a picture, and Mud is doing teaching people how to make a spice rack,
Oh, cool.
which is
Okay.
really cool. So you're gonna learn how to do really cool
Yeah.
things, and Let's have fun.
And I've always got to make my pitch for don't be afraid to go to university on the weekend. There's
Right.
parking
Plenty of
Free
parking.
right by the university
Right.
center. There's an elevator
Yep.
that takes you to the
Yeah.
third floor
Yep.
stairs or on your mind.
Yeah,
as
it'll
well.
never be easier to park on campus than that day.
Right, I get that a lot
That's
too.
right.
What about parking? It is free to park
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
university on
Right.
the weekend, so you don't have to worry
Well,
about
it'll
that
be
part.
so much fun. This sounds great. And how many years has this been
This
going
is
on
the
now?
12th year.
Wow.
Yeah, so and every year it gets bigger and better. I'm really excited for this year. We have tarot card reading, we have chair massage, we have and all the money that you pay for the tarot card reading and the chair, that all goes back to the nonprofits as well.
Oh, that's so
So
great.
lots of
Excellent.
opportunity. Yeah.
All right. Wow.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you so much
Did
for
we
having me.
miss anything?
Missoula Women's Fair, March
Right.
9th, 11 to 4, free.
Yeah. Go to the
Go to the
website.
website.
Yeah.
Go to the website.
Yeah.
Well, Megan, thanks so much for
Thank
stopping
you
by.
for having me.
It'll be a
Know
good
it.
day.
All right, we'll be right back. I think it's Heather's turn.
It's Heather.
So Heather's here from Living Art of Montana, and we're going to talk to her about what Living Art does. And they have an annual fundraiser called the Light Show, and it's coming up in May. And we'll learn more about it right after you see this.
You can't sit here.
Don't add her to the chain.
It was just a joke.
We're not friends.
Why are you talking to me?
He started it.
She's so gross.
Lame loser.
Weirdo.
I've said and done things before that I'm not proud of.
Just as I've been hurt by others.
The thing is, this is not who I am. And it's definitely not who I want to be.
I don't want to be cruel. I don't want to spread gossip.
I don't want to be a body shamer.
I don't want to exclude anyone.
I don't want to make anyone feel lonely.
Left out, hurt.
We have the power to be more.
We can create a kinder world.
It's not that hard.
We just need to stop.
Take a moment and consider others before we speak.
And before we act,
Be more.
Be more.
be more.
Yes.
Heather Sondheim is here from Living Art. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Joel.
Thanks for being
Hi.
on the show. I remember doing an out and about, was it, last season?
Yes.
We went over to Living Art in what I call the spaghetti warehouse.
Oh, I
The
know.
building
Some of
just
us
down
are
the
that
street,
old. Yes.
Between Tool and
I
Spruce.
remember. Yes.
So Heather, could you tell people just a little bit about Living Art of Montana?
Sure. So Living Art has been around for about 25 years now. We've been providing free art workshops for people who are dealing with cancer, chronic illness, loss, and their caretakers, which is a big mouthful, but really what
Right.
that means is if you're struggling with something and you're drawn to what we do, we put on these amazing art workshops with local artists who volunteer their time. We provide the supplies. All you have to do is show up and you get to make art with us. We don't evaluate what you do, but sharing happens, right? Because you make art and you talk
Sure.
about it with other people. So it's an opportunity to just do something for yourself that's sort of out of your normal routine, and you don't have to pay for it, and you come if you feel well enough, and you don't if you don't that day. But we're there, and
Yeah.
Right.
In a beautiful space.
Yes, absolutely.
is.
And there is just something about giving people an opportunity to express themselves with whatever is going on in their lives. It's so similar to what we were talking about with Mark earlier, that there's a lot of power in that.
yeah, and letting them have that power. It's not going to a therapist where, so what's the problem we're trying to handle?
Right.
It's really them deciding to come, first of all, them choosing what they want to do, what supplies, whether it's black or pink or glitter, we don't determine that. And then they're with a group of people who are struggling with something, they may not know what, and we don't ask, but there's a camaraderie in that. There's a shared community in the creating of the art and the knowing that people get you, whether you discuss your reasoning for being there or not.
But do you find that people do start sharing their stories?
They do, yeah. Or people come in really closed off, and we just sort of let them,
Give them their
acclimate
space.
and get to know them. And you see over a matter of weeks that people trust you and they trust the space and the process, and it's just really lovely to get to be part of their journey, where they're at in their process, whatever it is that they're going through. So it's an honor to be there for them.
And the art is really powerful, I think. You know, people may not know, but I had suffered prostate cancer and went 45 times to St. Pat's this fall, and there was a display there of living artwork in the reception area.
Wow.
And I was looking at it every day for 9 weeks, and the art people come up with is really amazing.
And it's personal.
Yeah.
You get the stories, and so I think it's really powerful. The masks were there, right? There was some, We're starting mask making tomorrow, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's an annual tradition that happens a couple times a year.
So if people want to know what upcoming workshops are available, can they go to your website?
They can. The easiest thing to do is to go to livingartofmontana.org.
Oh, no, we're showing it. Good.
Click on the workshops tab, and it shows you the full schedule. We do 2 schedules a year that show about 6 months at a time.
Perfect.
So people can, look ahead on their calendar.
Plan ahead. And the workshops are typically over a 6-week period, something like that?
Some are one-offs. We have a lot of Saturday workshops where you just come that day and you've got a finished project when you leave. Others, can be 3 weeks, 6 weeks. It just depends on the workshop, and the project. If it's glass or clay, that can take longer than a one-off. So.
Right.
A variety.
And if you're an artist listening to this right now or watching this, is there an opportunity? Are you looking for other artists who might be interested in leading workshops?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's lovely for our community to be exposed to different mediums and different people who facilitate our workshops. It's a great place for them to plug in, and we couldn't function without them. That's how Living Art has managed to stay here all these years, is through volunteerism from the local art community.
And each year there's a wonderful fundraiser for Living Art called the Light Show, which is a brilliant idea.
It's a lot of fun. It's May 10th this year. It's at the UC Ballroom. We're changing venues again.
Oh, wow.
There used to be Hilton Garden for a longest time.
We did the Hilton. We were at the Wilma last year, which was lovely, and we're mixing it up again this year. And we have a lot more art, and so we needed a big space.
Exciting.
We've got about 40 artists this year committed. A lot of great people. So we're very excited. And actually, our tickets go on sale on Friday.
Whoa, it's coming up.
This Friday, March 1st, flash sale, $50 a person if you buy it between March 1st and the 10th.
Early bird special. I love it.
Yeah, just warm up your March,
That's right.
To
and
look
then
forward
you
to.
just put it on your refrigerator so you have something to look forward
Yes,
to.
the light will come back. Yes.
And the Light Show, my understanding is it started out as lamps.
It did.
So Light Show was all kinds of like artist constructed lamps
have
with
one of
fanciful
them.
shades.
Yeah, from one of the early
wonderful
years.
spindles.
Yes.
And it got more broad, didn't it?
It did, because not everyone's a lamp maker.
Right.
And we didn't want to, leave out anyone who maybe their medium was acrylic or clay. And so we still get lamps, which is awesome. In fact, we got a great one delivered today by Paul Filicetti. He's an artist.
At A&E Architects.
Yeah.
So awesome. But there are still lamps in the mix, but there's a broad range of work too. Which is really fun.
And will it be, as in years past, a silent auction, live auction?
It will be
mix?
both this year, yes.
Ah.
Yeah, we brought back the silent auction by popular request. We just, we had a lot of artists that wanted to contribute, and it makes the night a little shorter when you don't do it all live.
If you have 40 live, people are probably...
Yeah, little snooze.
Right. Do you want to talk about the dinner itself? Sometimes people say, we're having this food or this paired wine or this entertainer or anything.
Their food is amazing.
It is very good.
They do a very good vegetarian meal. So we have a high proportion of vegetarians in our group. So we cater to them. But we're doing a nice steak and a sun-dried tomato polenta for anyone who that is the draw for them, the food. And we're also doing a dessert auction this year, which is a new thing. So that'll be a lot of fun. Local bakeries and restaurants are donating desserts to auction off at the event. So a little gamesmanship before we even get to the big auction.
Yeah.
I
think that's a good idea too.
You gotta be quick on the paddle if you want cake from Bernice's.
Right.
That's how it
They
goes.
go, yeah.
And could you use volunteers to help you with the fundraiser?
Yeah, absolutely. And anybody who's interested could give us a call at 549-5329 and we'll find a spot for you. It's a lot of fun. We have volunteers that come back every single year.
Oh, sure.
And we love them and appreciate them because they make it all work. But it's a great time.
That's excellent. Somehow I see myself as a volunteer. I think this is the year for
Is this it?
Yes.
That would be
Okay, step up.
lovely.
So you can get tickets early.
Yes.
Come this Friday.
Yep, on our website.
You can volunteer early, certainly.
Right.
So it may sound like May is a ways away, but time to
It
get on
comes, is what they tell us. Dear viewer, do you believe in spring? You
Yeah.
know?
Yes.
Well, Heather, thanks so much. Is there something we left out, before we move on? I want to make sure.
No, but we'd love to have you
Yeah, and
volunteer.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, and we'd love to have you come back if you'd
Closer
like,
to.
closer to, and show off some of the artwork.
I'd be happy.
That
We've
would be
done
fun.
that in the past,
That'd be great.
and it was just wonderful to see. So
Yeah.
it's a great part of the
Yeah.
segment.
Yes.
like take pictures and then we'll show them and
Yeah.
plug the
be happy
event
to.
a little.
That would be fun.
That'd be great.
Excellent.
And we love to show off their work anyway, because they're what makes the night so special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So,
Yeah.
that'd be
And we'll
awesome.
get to shop early.
There you go.
Perhaps.
Get some dibs on a few things.
Well, thanks again for
Thanks.
coming out in the blizzard.
Yes, no problem. Thank you,
And
guys.
we will be right back. Now,
Nick?
I'm thinking Nick is out there. Oh, and Becky's last. YWCA is last. Are you surprised? They're only women.
I
We'll
am
be right
surprised.
back after Scott shows you this PSA.
Saturday Drop-Ins return for their third year of stop animation and media fun. Every Saturday from 1 to 5 p.m., your kid can work with Legos, play, and more to make their characters come to life. Animation isn't the only reason to stop in.
Hi!
Your kids can experience media through editing, voiceover, and short films. Games and activities to keep your kids busy all Saturday afternoon, starting September.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool.
To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
We are
we
back
are.
with Nick Roberts. Nick is the executive director of Families First Children's Museum, and he's here to talk about a new program they've launched called Community Connections. Welcome.
Among other things. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Right.
Yeah.
Know it. Yeah, this is your time, man. Tell us what's going
Yeah,
on.
well, we've been in this massive transition, as most
Yeah.
of Missoula knows,
Right.
where we exited our Front Street location almost a year ago and have been sort of redefining how we deliver exhibit programming and how we re-invite the community into family education work and finding the intersection of all of that fun stuff as we amp up our lives and getting ready for the library. So
Right.
at present, we still don't have a destination center or facility, and that's by design at this point. So we've built some programming that goes out to the community, and that's what we've been doing. This community connections concept is to take the experience of the museum and to sort of box it up Mary Poppins style into a few trunks and then plop ourselves in the middle of the Empower Place at the food bank or Spectrum
cool.
Discovery area or a bunch of different schools or the library, and have facilitators invite kids and families to engage in activities that thematically invite them to learn and grow and play and all those things.
So it's kind of like a pop-up museum.
That's exactly what it is. It's a
experience.
pop-up experience.
Yeah.
And it's been fun because we're playing with, what's the core of museum life mean to families, you know, in 2019. And we were one thing when we were on Front Street, and we're evolving and growing and trying out new things to see what still lands and what doesn't. So,
and you know, one of the things we always are exploring at Humanities Montana is going to where the people are, rather than trying to entice the people always to be coming to you. That there's a lot to be said for just go find where they are already.
Yeah, well, we've had no shortage of interest. We've only been doing this 6 weeks, and we've served over 300 kids and been to like 6 or 7 schools and the food bank and all these different places. And immediately, it's people, I think, are refreshed by being able to, as you say, just conveniently stay where they are and have enrichment programming brought to them for free at this point. So it's been a lot of fun, and we have a program coordinator who's innovative and finding this intersection of play and learning. And so we have thematic trunks of activities focused on themes like compassion and kindness, social and emotional learning, cultural expression, getting to know your community. And so all of our activities have that intent and that intention of deepening our understanding and learning while engaging in play. So
that's kind of cool. And the mission of Families First Children's Museum has always been that, right? To create better, more emotionally intelligent families. Because there's people have kids and they don't get a license.
Yeah, I know. Anyone can have a kid. Yeah.
Right. Turns out that it's a pretty open field.
No qualifications required.
Right. So people do want and seek help in parenting.
Yeah. Because it's not easy.
Family education and learning through empowering families with parenting education and learning through play.
Yeah.
So we are so excited once we get to the library to have a physical space where we can embody the full family experience. You know, some people knew us as the museum, come, play, let kids roam around, parents relax, take a breath. Or maybe they've known us through our family education work, where we've given them practical parenting skills and instruction and workshop, which we continue to do. Or Circle of Security is a deepening of attachment and bond between caregiver and parent and child, and some of those curricular things for parents. But in the new space, we're going to blend it all together, you know, in such a unique new way. So we're trying that out. So we do continue our parenting work, by the way. We do those skill building workshops, helping kids manage emotions, navigating social media with your kids, positive parenting, positive discipline, those sorts of topic-based content we continue to deliver in partnership with Missoula County Public Schools and the Confederated Salish and Kootenai Tribes and other partners. So we'll continue to do that work in the community while we're doing this community connections mobile exhibit work as well. So we're quite nomadic this year.
Well, and nimble, my goodness.
And nimble, because these guys really had to go through the middle, right? With the Front Street and this, we're not going to talk about it, but you know, the cigar smoke and all his problems. And Nick's, look at him, he's weathered right through it.
He's weathered, you know. Gray hair is a plant.
But see the paradise ahead, not just for Families First Children's Museum, but MCAT too. So what we've been committed to do is to work together in the new space. So
I think that'll be one of the greatest things is not just the synergy of having all of your things, you know, happening in a new wonderful place, but that we can all contribute to it.
There'll be a floor right above us, and this second floor will have the children's section in it. So all the stuff the library does for children will be augmented by all the stuff Children's Museum Families First does for children, all the stuff Spectrum Science Discovery does.
And with an incredible flow of not being really walled in and sort of segregated proper-like, and so you'll walk into a floor and have this sense that everything really is blended and sort of aligned at large and by design. I mean, Joel and I have had the privilege of seeing some behind-the-scenes renderings of some of these facility notions that maybe there's not floor-to-ceiling walls much at all in this building. You know, so what does that mean for the physical flow, and what does that mean for staffing? What does that mean for? Ultimately, it means an incredible new capacity to invite people in and have 4 organizations immediately embrace you at once.
Yeah,
it's going to be
pretty amazing.
Now, if people want to know where you're popping up next, or where your workshops are going to be held, How can they find out that information?
They can go to our incredibly long website, Children's Museum Missoula.
We've got it on the screen.
Yeah, and it's a tidy, nice design. It's just that the name is long.
It is.
Right.
Children's Museum Missoula.org.
Internal angst about it, but that's the best place. We have our calendar of upcoming events there, and our parenting classes, what they cost, which ones are free, where we're going to be popping up, as you say, in terms of the community connections work. So it's all right there. Also on Facebook. Also, always give us a call.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those things.
Great.
Well, good luck throughout the rest of this nomadic year.
Thank you.
But we'll all be together soon.
Yeah, see? This really is going to be a pretty interesting year of adjusting. And every other week, we meet as a group.
I know, you guys have been doing this for a while.
Way too much about Joel.
Yeah.
We're going to fine-tune what's going to be a masterful juggling act of cooperation and what do you call it? Collective impact, which is our mantra.
Yes.
That a number of organizations are going to work together to deliver the best services possible.
Right. Yes.
So we're going to do it.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you, friends, for having me.
Yeah, you're most welcome,
good to
Nick. Thanks
see
for
you
coming out and
again.
being on the show. And then last but not least, Becky Margolis is here from the YWCA, and she's going to talk about in general what the YWCA provides. And they also have a wonderful, compassionate, and effective project, building project coming up. And we're going to touch on that a little bit in this final segment. So we'll be right back.
Intersections are where some of the most fatal crashes occur due to T-bone and head-on collisions. The Montana Department of Transportation is committed to building safe roadways throughout the state. Often, roundabouts are the solution to eliminating these types of crashes. Roundabouts reduce fatal collisions by 90% and reduce collisions causing injury by 75%, according to the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. How do roundabouts reduce fatal and serious injury crashes? First, roundabouts naturally encourage drivers to slow for the intersection. Cars slow down to yield to other cars, which force cars when merging onto a roundabout to average 15 to 20 miles per hour. Lower speeds help limit impact if a crash does occur. Second, with no light to beat, drivers do not have the incentive to speed into the roundabout. Third, roundabouts move traffic through the intersection in one direction, thus essentially negating the possibility of T-bone or head-on crashes. This results in decreased traffic collisions, furthering Montana Department of Transportation's Vision Zero goal, ultimately eliminating deaths and injuries on Montana highways. So, as you see roundabouts appear around Montana, including a new set of roundabouts at the Van Buren Street interchange, you'll know roadways are becoming safer and more efficient. Taxpayers have tasked the Montana Department of Transportation with making Montana's roads safer. We take that mission seriously every single day.
So how was work?
It was 1,300 hours. My math class from 302 was in the trenches. Davy Roth had it the worst. Fractions were coming at him left and right. He just didn't get the damn things. 2 days ago, I tried to teach him what 1/4 of 1/2 was using different sizes of blocks. Yesterday, I tried again by dividing up pizza. Both missions failed.
Oh no.
But today, I was ready. I created a combat math game where the only way to beat the enemy is to out-fraction them. Davy conquered every last denominator. My game was so successful, the principal is deploying it to math squadrons all over the school. Anywho, how was your day?
Oh, today my boss treated the office to salad wraps.
Salad wraps.
I know.
Okay, and we are back. We're back with Becky Margolis. She is representing YWCA. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No way. So, what caught my eye was the building project, but I think it would be nice to talk about the YWCA in general, if you'd like to do so.
Sure. So, the YWCA provides support and shelter for survivors of domestic violence. That can be adults with or without children. And then we also provide housing for homeless families. So family homelessness is actually really critical issue in Missoula. A lot of people don't realize that. These families are often trying really hard not to be seen and fly under the radar and maintain a sense of normalcy for their families.
Sure.
But the reality is that some nights there could be dozens of families in Missoula with children that have no place to go. Right now we have an emergency housing program that provides short-term shelter for families up to 50 days at a time, 7 to 12 families depending on the time of year. And we also provide transitional housing which is sort of longer-term supported housing for survivors of domestic violence. And then we have another program that helps homeless families move into permanent homes of their own with rent and deposit assistance, and just help kind of navigating the housing market and working with landlords or dealing with poor rental history or credit or things like that.
Right.
Sure.
Like Hatton Littman, for instance, communications director at MCPS, at a meeting last month, she said, well, we estimate there's about 435 students in the district that are attending school without a permanent home to back them up. And they're attending school and doing their homework and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
435.
And going through a winter like this and thinking
Can
about...
you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right, being a parent and raising a family is hard enough even when you have a stable place to live and resources. So, yeah, just
it's
a lot of
super critical work. And then the other part of the work they do, affording shelter to victims of domestic violence, is another incredibly empathetic situation, incredibly necessary, and incredibly unglamorous, right, in terms of causes and things like that.
Right.
And, you know, domestic violence and homelessness are really linked. Families that are experiencing homelessness, a majority of them have experienced domestic violence as well. And that's often a leading cause of homelessness for families.
I mean, it's a you know, incredible, negatively holistic situation in which poverty creates
more and more poverty.
More and more poverty contributes to violence overall in general. And if you're fleeing a situation, a violent situation, you may not have a rental history in your own name.
Yes.
You may not have the funds, you know, that you have access to anymore.
Because people that are victims of that, often they're controlled by someone too. So they make sure that they don't have the autonomy of a bank account or a credit history or things like that.
Right.
Very insidious. One way the YWCA raises money is through thrift stores.
Secret Seconds, my favorite.
One on Broadway, the other out on Stevens. Do you want to tell people a little bit about that, how they could support the Y shopping?
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Sure.
Yeah, so the Secret Seconds thrift stores are, they generate over 40% of our revenue.
That is so
Isn't that great?
I dropped off a bag yesterday.
Aren't you noble too? I remember
it had been in the back of my car for like 2 weeks.
If you're a member of the Y, you get a 30%.
I know, I am.
Well,
I am, because it's just the cycle of life for me, because I buy there and then I return it.
I kind of do too, because I'm too shy to try on pants. So then I'm always like, this will fit surely.
I think, you know, everyone is like tidying up, you know, and getting rid of things that don't spark joy for them anymore.
Oh, that new show, yeah.
Oh, I bet that's been helpful.
I think there's just, I found a lot of great stuff there.
Yeah. These boots.
Oh, wow.
I got these boots
That's
at Secret
impressive.
Seconds.
Can we
Fry
have a close-up
boots.
of the Fry boots from Secret
And I tell
Seconds?
everyone this is the best buy of my life.
I don't want to know how much you paid for them.
Better than my home.
Well, the sole looks
So
very soft.
I know. I mean, they were awesome. This was this year. I couldn't believe it.
And these stores are on West Broadway,
Yep.
right by the Y.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the other store is on Stevens. What's
Stevens,
a landmark?
Like Kensington.
Yeah.
Between like Brooks and Stevens, that little
The old
wedge.
Good Food Store.
It is the old Good Food
I
Store.
was
That's
gonna
how
get
we all
that
think
reference.
of it.
Sure.
People our age, Joel.
Yeah. So 40% comes from.
Yeah. So donating items to Secret Seconds is a great way to support the Y.
Yep.
Shopping at Secret Seconds.
Or becoming a member. I don't know, it's like $35 a year or something like that. And then you get a discount at those stores. So I think that is very nice.
Now, in order to further your mission of housing and helping families in violent situations, you've got some new housing project you're about to
A
embark
very
on?
ambitious building project.
Yeah, so so we have this new facility that we are in the process of moving forward with.
Wow.
And the new facility is going to have basically 3 components all under one roof. So there will be our domestic violence shelter, which is currently in a residential location, will now move to the new facility. It will be expanded. We'll be able to serve more people. It'll be safer, more secure, and it'll be in a public location. And so, I think that really helps remove some of the stigma that domestic violence is a thing that we shouldn't talk about. It's a community issue, and kind of coming out of the closet.
That is so true, because it's traditionally been something people hid, or didn't want
anyone else
know
to know.
about.
They're ashamed of it.
So to have a facility that says, no, here, it's an issue and we're dealing with it.
Yeah.
Here's where we
And
deal
everybody,
with it.
it's a community issue. So there will be the domestic violence shelter. Then there will be the Family Housing Center for homeless families, which we will be operating in collaboration with Family Promise.
The collection of churches?
Yeah, so Family Promise is a group of congregations and businesses under the agency of Missoula Interfaith Collaborative that provides housing for homeless families as well in the different congregations.
Right.
So they're partnering with us on that component.
Wonderful.
And then also the YWCA's offices and our other core programs will be moving to the new building.
Oh, excellent. Good for you.
Now, Scott is showing very snazzy.
Well, and Becky, you said that a lot of things aren't set in stone, so that this picture is kind of a conception.
So yeah, this is an architectural rendering of the building. We're expected to break ground this summer and be in the new facility fall of 2020.
Oh, good for you. Now, is it a large capital campaign underway?
There is. Yes. So that's been an effort that's been, planning effort that's been going on for many years, and fundraising effort. So it'll be it's a combination of grants, tax credits, a lot of individual contributions and foundations that will be supporting this project. And in the next few months, there will be a lot more information widely available to the public about getting involved and supporting.
Yeah, when you're ready to go public with that part of that campaign, you'll have to come back.
Yeah, you
and
will
talk
have to come
us.
back. And I know there's often a psychology to this from my work at the library.
It's a science. It really is.
There's a science to a capital campaign, and there's a time and place for every ask, as they say in the business. So we understand, like, the smaller contributions may be asked for later.
Right.
Just makes sense.
Right.
Anything you want to add? I see we're 2 minutes to the hour.
I'll just do a quick plug. A really great way for people to learn more about the Y and our work that we're doing is to come on a tour. So we do free tours every month. The first Tuesday of the month, noon to 1, you get lunch, and you get to hear from all the different programs about our work and just, how you can get involved. So that's kind of
that's a great idea.
What a good idea.
I didn't know about that. Thank you.
Yeah, and you can RSVP on our website, ywcaofmissoula.org. There's a button to sign up for a tour.
Great.
That's very
and that's
cool.
Tuesday at the lunch hour. Lunch provided. Yeah, we've been showing some things from your website.
It's a great website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I was impressed with it. Weren't you?
Yeah.
We were like, whoa.
Very
this is
visual. It's really
excellent.
good.
That's good to hear.
Well, we're so grateful that you're doing the work
thank
you're
you.
doing.
Thank you.
It's, Missoula's a great community to be doing this work in, and we just, you know, it has the heart and the energy for this project, and we really appreciate all the support that we've gotten. So
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Becky, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show on the blustery day.
Yes, and come back when you have big
when you're ready
public
for
announcements.
the public to contribute what we can. And then again, of course, I'll remind people, Secret Seconds, a way to support the Y. They're on West Broadway and also at Kensington and Stevens in the old Good Food store.
Right.
Where you'd go and you'd hardly come out with any packaging. I had to bring my old stuff and fill it up. They'd be like, did you wash that yogurt container? I'd be like, oh, what? But we were much younger then.
Yeah, that's right. We survived.
We did. And you too, dear viewer, have survived this blustery edition of Missoula Live. The show will be on at different times of the day for the next 2 weeks, and you can also watch it on our Facebook page, Missoula's Community Media Resource. And as always, if you know of a group you'd like to see on this program, give us a call at MCAT. The number is 542-6228. For MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.